Blackwood Penitentiary, a name whispered in fear, a place where hope died. Built in 1888, it stood on a desolate hilltop. Looming over the small town of Blackwood Creek, it was a grim reminder of the darkness men could hold. The prison had seen its share of horrors, riots, fires, executions that chilled the blood. But nothing compared to the mystery of cell number 303. Blackwood was more than just a prison. It was a living thing. Its cold stone walls breathed in the despair of the men trapped inside. The air was thick with the stench of fear and decay. The guards, hardened men, all had that same look in their eyes, a look that said they'd seen too much. They knew the truth. Blackwood held a darkness that couldn't be explained. For years, whispers circulated among guards and inmates alike, stories of strange noises echoing through the empty corridors at night, cold spots that defied explanation, shadows that seemed to move on their own. But these were just whispers, easily dismissed. Until the night inmate number 303 vanished. The history of Blackwood is filled with tales of the supernatural. From ghostly apparitions to unexplained phenomena, the prison's past is as dark as its walls. And the mystery of cell number 303 remains its most chilling tale. Inmate number 303 was a man shrouded in mystery. His real name was unknown, his crimes a secret. He arrived at Blackwood a shadow of a man, his face hidden behind a thick beard, his eyes filled with a haunting emptiness. He never spoke, never caused trouble. He was a ghost haunting a prison of ghosts. His cellmate, a hardened criminal named Jake the Hammer Hardwick, was found dead one morning. His eyes were wide with terror, his face frozen in a silent scream. The cause of death was unknown. No marks, no struggle. It was as if all the life had been drained from him. When the guards went to question number 303, they found his cell empty. The heavy steel bars, cold and unyielding, remained untouched. The door locked from the outside. There was no sign of forced entry, no indication of how he could have possibly escaped. Inmate number 303 had simply vanished. The guards searched every inch of the cell, but found nothing. Security footage showed no signs of movement. It was as if he had disappeared into thin air. The search extended to the entire prison, but there was no trace of him. Rumors began to spread about strange symbols found in his cell, adding to the enigma. Whispers of the supernatural began to circulate among the inmates and guards alike. The mystery of inmate number 303 remains unsolved to this day. Mark Olson was a rookie guard. Fresh out of training, Blackwood was his first assignment. He'd heard the stories, of course, who hadn't? But he dismissed them as old wives' tales. That is, until his first night shift. It was a moonless night. The wind howled like a banshee, rattling the bars and sending shivers down Mark's spine. He was assigned to cell block C, the oldest and most feared section of the prison. Cell number 303 was located at the very end of the block, shrouded in darkness. As Mark made his rounds, he couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. The air grew heavy, the silence broken only by the drip, drip, drip of water from a leaky pipe. When he reached number 303, he stopped, his breath catching in his throat. He could have sworn he saw a figure standing in the shadows. A tall, gaunt figure with eyes that seemed to burn with an unholy light. His flashlight flickered, casting eerie shadows that danced on the walls. Mark's hand trembled as he tried to steady the beam. He began to hear whispers, faint and unintelligible, but growing louder. Panic set in as he looked around frantically, trying to locate the source. He backed away from the cell, his heart pounding in his chest. Unable to take it any longer, Mark turned and ran, the whispers chasing him down the corridor. He burst out of the prison doors, gasping for breath, the cold night air a stark contrast to the oppressive atmosphere inside. As he looked back at the looming structure, he knew he would never forget the terror of that night. Mark froze, his heart pounding in his chest. He blinked, and the figure was gone. Had he imagined it? He took a step closer, his hand hovering over his baton. The air grew colder, and a low growl seemed to emanate from the very walls of the cell. Suddenly, the cell door swung open with a deafening clang. Mark stumbled back, his blood turning to ice. There was nothing there. He ran, his fear propelling him through the darkened corridors. He didn't stop running until he reached the relative safety of the guard station. Mark never forgot what he saw that night. He requested a transfer the next day, but no one would believe his story. He left Blackwood, but Blackwood never left him. The nightmares continued. The chilling feeling of being watched never went away. Cell number 303 remained empty, a constant reminder of the darkness that lurked within Blackwood's walls. And the whispers continued, whispers of the ghost of number 303, forever trapped within the prison, seeking revenge on the living. Mark's nights were plagued by visions of the ghost, its hollow eyes staring into his soul. He would often find himself drawn to old photographs of the prison, unable to escape its grip. Therapy sessions did little to ease his mind, the terror of cell hash 303 forever etched in his memory. The legend of cell hash 303 grew, with new guards whispering about the ghostly figure that haunted the cell. The chilling feeling of being watched never went away. Cell number 303 remained empty, a constant reminder of the darkness that lurked within Blackwood's walls. And the whispers continued. Whispers of the ghost of number 303, forever trapped within the prison, seeking revenge on the living. Gap 3S. The disappearance of inmate hash 303 sent shockwaves through Blackwood Penitentiary. An extensive investigation ensued, led by both internal prison officials and external law enforcement agencies. The search was exhaustive, with every corner of the prison meticulously combed. Yet no trace of inmate hash 303 was ever found. Gap 2S. Rumours began to circulate among the prison staff and inmates. Some whispered of a supernatural event, while others speculated about an elaborate escape. The truth remained elusive. Gap 2S. We spoke with former guards who were on duty during that unsettling period. Gap 1S. Former guard hash 1. It was like something out of a horror movie. 1 minute he was there, the next gone without a trace. We searched for days, but it was like he vanished into thin air. Gap 1S. Former guard hash 2. The atmosphere in the prison changed after that. The lights would flicker and you'd hear footsteps when no one was around. A lot of us were on edge. Gap 2S. Inmates also reported strange occurrences. Gap 1S. Former inmate hash 1. You'd hear whispers at night like someone was right next to you. And the cell, hash 303, no one wanted to go near it. Gap 1S. Former inmate hash 2. It was like the prison itself was alive, watching us. I could feel eyes on me, even when I was alone. Gap 2S. The psychological impact on the prison staff was profound. Many guards, like Mark, requested transfers. Those who stayed found themselves haunted by the unexplained events. Gap 2S. Former guard hash 3. I tried to rationalize it, but there were too many things that just didn't add up. I still have nightmares about that place. Gap 2S. The legend of cell hash 303 grew, casting a long shadow over Blackwood Penitentiary. The prison's reputation was forever tarnished and its history steeped in darkness. The unanswered questions and eerie phenomena only fueled the mystery, leaving a legacy of fear and uncertainty. Gap 2S. The whispers of inmate hash 303 continue to this day, a chilling reminder of the unknown forces that lurk within Blackwood's walls. A Gap 3S. In the wake of the unsettling events surrounding inmate hash 303, Blackwood Penitentiary became a focal point for paranormal investigators. Teams of experts equipped with advanced tools and methodologies descended upon the prison to uncover the truth behind the eerie occurrences. Gap 2S. Renowned paranormal investigator Dr. Sarah Morgan led one of the first comprehensive studies. Gap 1S. Dr. Morgan. Blackwood was unlike any location I've ever investigated. The energy there was palpable, and we recorded some of the most compelling evidence of the paranormal I've ever encountered. Gap 2S. Over the course of several nights, Dr. Morgan and her team set up equipment in and around cell hash 303. They utilized EMF detectors, thermal cameras, and digital voice recorders in an attempt to capture any signs of supernatural activity. Gap 2S. The findings were nothing short of chilling. Gap 1S. Investigator hash 1. We captured numerous EVPs or electronic voice phenomena in the vicinity of cell hash 303. Voices that responded to our questions, often in disturbing ways. Gap 1S, playback of an EVP. Help me, I'm still here. Gap 2S. In addition to EVPs, the thermal cameras detected sudden drops in temperature, often localized around the cell. Gap 1S, investigator #2. We'd see cold spots appear out of nowhere, sometimes forming the outline of a human figure. It was as if someone or something was standing right there. Gap 2S. The team also reported seeing shadowy figures moving through the corridors, often vanishing as quickly as they appeared. Gap 1S, investigator #3. There were moments when we'd all see a shadow dart across the room, but when we checked, there was no one there. It was as if the prison was playing tricks on us. Gap 2S. Despite the overwhelming evidence, skeptics remained unconvinced, attributing the phenomena to natural causes or the power of suggestion. However, for those who experienced it firsthand, the haunting of Blackwood Penitentiary was undeniable. Gap 2S, Dr. Morgan. Whether you believe in the paranormal or not, there's no denying that Blackwood is a place of intense energy and mystery. The story of inmate #303 is just one chapter in its dark history. Gap 2S. To this day, Blackwood Penitentiary remains a site of intrigue for both paranormal enthusiasts and skeptics alike. The legend of cell #303 continues to draw attention, leaving an indelible mark on the prison's haunted legacy. Gap 2S. As we delve deeper into the unknown, one question remains. What truly happened to inmate #303? And what other secrets does Blackwood Penitentiary hold within its shadowy walls? Gap 2S. Today, Blackwood Penitentiary stands as a decaying monument to its dark past. The once imposing structure is now abandoned, its corridors echoing with the whispers of history. Gap 2S. Nature has begun to reclaim the grounds, with ivy crawling up the walls and trees casting long shadows over the crumbling architecture. Yet, despite its state of disrepair, Blackwood continues to draw the curious and the brave. Gap 2S. Local legend speaks of recent sightings and strange occurrences that defy explanation. Visitor #1. I was taking photos when I saw a shadow move past one of the windows. There was no one else around, and when I checked, the room was empty. Gap 2S. Some visitors report hearing disembodied voices, often pleading for help or warning them to leave. Visitor #2. I heard someone whisper, "Get out," right in my ear. It was so clear I thought someone was playing a prank, but I was completely alone. So Gap 2S. Even locals have their own tales of eerie encounters near the penitentiary. Local resident. Sometimes at night you can see lights flickering inside the old cell blocks. It's like the prison is still alive, haunted by its past. Gap 2S. Paranormal activity isn't the only thing that keeps Blackwood in the spotlight. Urban explorers and thrill seekers often venture into the prison, hoping to capture a glimpse of the supernatural or simply to experience the heavy atmosphere for themselves. Gap 2S. Despite numerous warnings and the crumbling infrastructure, the allure of Blackwood Penitentiary remains strong. For some, it's a place to test their courage. For others, it's a site of profound historical and paranormal significance. Gap 2S. As the years go by, the legend of Blackwood Penitentiary continues to grow, fueled by new sightings and unexplained phenomena. The question lingers: what will the next visitor encounter within these haunted walls? And what other secrets lie hidden in the shadows of Blackwood Penitentiary? Gap 2S. Cell #303, the most infamous cell in Blackwood Penitentiary, has become a cornerstone of local folklore. Over the years, countless stories and myths have emerged, each adding to the cell's dark allure. Gap 2S. Legend has it that the cell was once home to an inmate who was wrongfully convicted of a heinous crime. Inmate #303, as he was known, became a symbol of injustice and despair. The stories say that his spirit never left the cell, bound by his unfulfilled quest for justice. Gap 2S. One of the most chilling tales comes from a former prison guard who swore he saw the ghostly figure of inmate #303 pacing his cell late at night. "God, I saw him clear as day, just walking back and forth, mumbling to himself. When I called out, he vanished right before my eyes." Gap 2S. Visitors to cell #303 often report feeling an overwhelming sense of dread and sadness. Some have even claimed to hear the faint sound of chains rattling, or a man's anguished cries echoing through the empty cell block. Gap 2S. Local legend also speaks of a mysterious note found hidden in the cell walls, supposedly written by inmate #303. The note, which has never been publicly revealed, is said to contain a final message to his family, pleading for their forgiveness and proclaiming his innocence. Gap 2S. As the years have passed, cell #303 has inspired a variety of myths and legends. Some say that anyone who spends a night in the cell will be cursed with bad luck. Others believe that the cell holds the key to unlocking the penitentiary's many secrets. Gap 2S. Despite the warnings and the cell's sinister reputation, cell #303 continues to draw the curious and the brave. Urban explorers and paranormal investigators alike are drawn to its dark history, each hoping to uncover new evidence of the supernatural. Gap 2S. The legend of cell #303 has become an integral part of Blackwood Penitentiary's haunted legacy. As new stories and sightings continue to emerge, the cell's dark allure only grows stronger. What new secrets will be uncovered in the shadows of cell #303? And what other mysteries lie hidden within the walls of Blackwood Penitentiary? Gap 2S. The legend lives on, a chilling reminder of the penitentiary's dark past and the lingering spirits that refuse to be forgotten. Gap 2S. As we reflect on the enigmatic history of Blackwood Penitentiary and the legend of cell #303, one thing becomes clear. This place is more than just an abandoned prison. It is a repository of stories, a vessel of human emotions, and a testament to the enduring power of mystery. Gap 2S. The legend of cell #303 has left an indelible mark on the community, shaping local folklore and captivating the imaginations of those who hear its tale. For some, it serves as a cautionary reminder of the consequences of injustice. For others, it is a source of intrigue and excitement, a puzzle waiting to be solved. Gap 2S. The enduring fascination with the unknown speaks to a deeper human desire to understand the world around us, to seek out the hidden truths that lie beneath the surface. Blackwood Penitentiary, with its dark history and ghostly legends, offers a unique glimpse into the mysteries that continue to elude us. Gap 2S. As new generations hear the stories and explore the haunted halls, the legend of cell #303 will undoubtedly continue to evolve. Each new discovery, each unexplained phenomenon will add another layer to the complex tapestry of Blackwood's history. Gap 2S. Whether you are a skeptic or a believer, there is no denying the impact of these stories on our collective consciousness. They remind us that even in the face of darkness, there is always a glimmer of light, a spark of curiosity that drives us to seek the truth. Gap 2S. So, as we close this chapter on Blackwood Penitentiary and cell #303, we invite you to ponder the mysteries that lie within. What new secrets will emerge from the shadows? What other tales are waiting to be told? Gap 2S. The legend of cell #303 continues to live on, a haunting reminder of the power of storytelling and the enduring allure of the unknown. Gap 2S. Until next time, stay curious, stay vigilant, and remember, some mysteries are never truly solved. Gap 2S.